finished book number 7. It was for my book club. The reason I picked this book out is because the movie's coming out in March, so I wanted to read it. And it is a classic and is on my 50/50 list. So the book that I finished was this one, A Wrinkle in Time. I really don't know what I think about this book. First, I gave it a 3-star. It was between a 3.5 and a 4. There was parts that I liked and parts that I didn't like in this book. It is supposed to be about time travel. They go to the 5th dimension, and this girl named Meg, she's trying to find her father because her father went in time travel, and she's trying to find him, and then just strange things happen. So I'm not going to say anything else because I wanted to go into this blindly. It was not what I expected. I really think that the movie is going to be better than the book. I know that usually doesn't happen, but I just didn't click with this book. I did listen to this on audio. I started reading it physically, and then I was getting confused, so I put the audiobook on, and I was sitting here with the audiobook listening when I drove, but when I was sitting here waiting for the kids, I would read the book at the same time as the audiobook was reading it to me. So it did help a little bit to get through all the monotonous. There's a lot of strange names like Mrs. Who Did It, and all that. I don't know. Very strange names, and so I gave it 3 stars. So I was disappointed. So I finished book number 8. It's a really quick, short story. I was browsing in the library last night while my kids were in Hebrew school, and I came across a really thin book, and it's one of my favorite authors, so I picked it up, I read it in the car waiting for them, and then I read it this morning, so I finished it. The book that I read for book number 8 was this one, A Deal of a Lifetime by Frederick Backman. What do I think about this book? It's not as good as those other 2. I gave it a 3-star. He does write sad books, so I did not cry, but this is a sad book. This is about, I'm going to try to give it a little bit of what it's about. It's about a girl who's 5 years old in the hospital, and she is ill. And it's about a guy who is older, he's in his 40s, and he is also ill. And that's all I'm giving you, because I don't want to give you, it's very, very short. I don't want to give you any more info. You have to read it. But I didn't like it as much as his other books, so I gave it 3 stars. I finished another book. This one is on my 50/50. It's a graphic novel. I took it out from the library, so I earned $1. And the book that I read was Blankets by Craig Thompson. And this is a graphic novel, so there's lots of pictures in here. It's black and white. I enjoyed it. I like some parts of the book, and some parts I didn't like about the book. It's very for mature content. It has mature content in it. It has underage drinking. It has smoking. It has masturbation in here. There was naked pictures of both genders, so, but okay, so what is the story about? There is a guy, his name is Craig, and he's the main character, and he's a teenager now, but he does flashbacks to when he was little, and he shared a room with his brother, and they shared the same bed. Then the present time is he goes to a religious camp, and he meets this girl, and he falls in love with this girl. Her name is Raina, and she's a very popular girl in her school, but she has some chaos going on in her household where her family her mom and dad are getting divorced, and Raina is she has to watch her younger siblings who have special needs. So I really enjoyed this story. However, when there was some religious parts in this book that I didn't feel like they needed to be in there. But otherwise, at the very end of the book, it jumps to when Craig is older and he's an adult. And I was at the end of the book and I was like, that's it. It just ended. And I'm like, that's it. I wanted more. And I was like flipping the pages. I'm like, what, is there going to be more? Anyway, so my rating for this one is a 3-star. I was debating between a 3 and a 4, and I dropped it down to a 3. So yeah, so that's this one.